Welcome everyone, this is Jed Shlackman. In this video I want to speak about the spiritual ego and the illusion of separation. As people explore or progress along a spiritual path, that process often has the pitfall of feeding into what we could call a spiritual ego, the sense of self as it compares itself to others or perceived others and sees it in some way as better than superior to others due to its making progress on the spiritual path. As a person becomes more spiritually focused rather than materially focused, their values can shift, their attitudes about things in life change, and they can see, in a sense, progress in their own life, that they've evolved, they've matured in some way, and so as they become more spiritually focused, they can start to look down on other people who are more materially focused, who haven't made that particular shift on their path. However, if we consider some of the deepest truths of spirituality, of, you could say, the nature of life and existence, we can consider that there really is no separate self and other. It's kind of a grand illusion. We're all just different points of awareness originating from the same ultimate source to have this experience of life, of self-exploration and co-creation. So if you're starting to look down on someone else or judge someone else or see yourself as superior in a sense to someone else, you're actually putting down an aspect of your own self, because you are really not separate from that other person or other being that you are judging. So if we start to go into a state of judgment, saying, well, I'm spiritually evolved, I'm mature, I'm woke, I'm awakened, I'm whatever you might start to label things, then you're kind of missing the point, per se, of your spiritual growth and awakening, which is evolving toward that wholeness or oneness. So if you're caught up in those types of judgments, of those statements of separation in a way, then you're actually inhibiting your own progress from going further, from becoming more expanded in your awareness and your sense of self. So this is something that's valuable to consider as we are practicing things to develop our spiritual awareness and our self-integration. We can be mindful that we're not caught up in the ego, even while we're telling ourselves that we're growing in our spirituality. It's actually very common for the ego to use spirituality to try to boost itself. So at other points in life, someone might have used their material gain, their career status, their relationship status, things like that, to feed the sense of self from the ego perspective. But then as the shift in your life occurs where you're focused more on spiritual development, on things that you might perceive as less egoic or less selfish, then that in itself can be a food source in a way for the ego or the sense of separate self, because now it's judging other people as not being as quote-unquote spiritual, and seeing that as in some way bad or inferior, forgetting that every life, every experience, every state of being has a purpose in this grand journey of self-exploration. So if we could be more at peace with ourselves and others, we can evaluate differences and discern things of that nature without looking at them as good and bad or right and wrong in an ultimate sense. Just understanding that they're points of awareness along the continuum of self-exploration and individual evolution. I hope that this particular talk has given you some insight into yourself, into others, into the process and path of spiritual growth. For those that are interested in holistic health and spirituality, I invite you to view my website, which is phinsights.com. That's PHINSIGHTS.com. For now, I wish everyone a wonderful day. Namaste.